we're making pasta for our homemade tortellini chicken soup. We're using regular unbleached flour, some salt, eggs, olive oil I prefer you use. Today I'm using canola oil because I forgot to pick up olive oil when I was at the store. This pasta recipe I would use for tortellini, for ravioli, for your fettuccine, for lasagna noodles, spaghetti noodles. I use semolina flour for that pasta. It's a little firmer. Anyway, let's get started here. Also, if you have one of these machines, this is a very nice machine. Makes making pasta a breeze. Don't have to do it by hand, but if you don't have one of these machines, you can do it by hand. You mound up your flour in the middle of the table, make a little well, put the eggs in, and start mixing by hand. With this machine, I'll add the eggs, I add the salt, put the lid on and whirl her around for just a little bit, just to mix it up. And then we'll add some oil. Couple teaspoons, tablespoon, and you know, this is just eyeball. Alright, so now we will add the flour. We have about 1.5 cups, not quite 2 cups. I'm going to reserve a little bit of that. And at this point, when you start mixing, if it just looks like cornmeal, add just a little bit of water, a touch at a time. What you're looking for is for the whole dough to ball up and just start whirling around in one ball. Then you know you got her good. So let's put her on low. And that's exactly what you're looking for. I have to say, I've made dough hundreds of times out of this. This would be the first time it just came right together for me. So what you have is a gorgeous piece of dough that you're barely going to have to knead. The reserved flour. Dust your surface a little bit. Dust your hands a little bit. And we're just going to kind of finish kneading it just a little bit. And what you end up with is a beautiful piece of dough that you're going to let rest in the fridge for about a half hour. So I'm going to wrap this up, put it in the fridge, and we will see you in 30 minutes. It's been about an hour. 30 minutes your dough could rest. This has been about an hour. Take a piece of it. It's kind of tacky. Wrap the rest up, set aside. Gonna flour our area. Flour your hands a little bit. And we are just going to play with the dough a little bit. Try and get some of that moisture out a little bit. Okay. And we are just going to form it so it will fit in our machine over here, our pasta press. If you don't have one of those, you could just roll it out by hand. Alright, So we'll try the pasta press out. We have it set on the biggest setting. It's going to roll the dough. Alright. Just going to flour the dough a little bit so it doesn't stick in the machine. And we are going to tighten her down. Now the end here is kind of funky. At this point you can just kind of fix the end there a little bit. When it presses through the machine, we'll do that side first. Any funky edges you have will be flattened right out. Okay. You keep working your settings down until you can see the dough, see your hand through the dough. Dough gets longer. We're almost there. And we are finally at the stage you're looking for. I'm going to cut this in half here. You can see your hand behind the dough. Going to set the pieces off to the side. And we'll begin to make our tortellini. So we're making the tortellinis. We've got our sheet spread out. I used a wine glass to set the circles that I want, the size. This is the chicken puree. The recipe will be on the website. Basically just the chicken that I made the stock with. I whipped up in that same food processor to make it a little kind of like pate. And you set inside in the middle of the circles of your tortellini. Then we just cut out our tortellini. And we remove the waste, And the waste, the leftover here, you can run back through the machine and make even more tortellini. Bench scraper. The dough has been sitting around a little bit, so it's getting a little dry. Bench scraper comes in handy. You just move these things around a little bit. And I'm going to show you how to make a couple. Super easy. This is my way of making tortellini. You're going to want to get some water and just go around the diameter of your circle, and you simply fold in half. So you have like a moon. See that? A moon. Got the flat side and then the circle side. So what you want to do is take your pointer finger and set this tortellini like this. So the rounded side coincides with your fingertip. Next, you're going to kind of make a ring. Bend it right around your finger. What I typically normally do, this one's falling apart on me, this dough's getting dry, you gotta move quick, people, is I pinch, I hold this end like this, and then you just wrap it around your finger and connect the end. So you got something that looks like that. And then I just fold this back so it blossoms open, blah, and it kind of looks like a small ring. You can make these as big as you want, as small as you want. There's one. Let me show you another. You have your circle on the table. Kind of spread water around it so it seals. And don't be afraid, people. You can. This dough is fairly forgiving. Trust me. Just pinch it together and make like a half moon. The flat end, and there's the circle end. So take that, grab it like that so your thumb is, see? And then bring it right around. Bam. Well, that'll work too. We did her backwards. Let me show you another one. And you know, just play with it. You'll get your own little technique down. Make that half moon again. You know, I mean, this ain't the prettiest looking thing, but guess what? It's gonna make a tortellini. Hold her like that. Bring it right around your finger. So then blossom it out. And then you kind of gently pull it off your finger because you'll see that kind of wants to come apart. But there you go. One more, people. This will be your homework. I want emails, pictures of how your tortellini come out. So you got that moon again. I'm gonna go swoosh. Alright, so we're going to finish up the tortellini here, and then we're going to boil them up and have a bowl of soup. Here are the tortellini we're going to add to the boiling broth. The tortellini you can let dry out and put in the refrigerator, and they're good for, I'd say, a day or two. You can freeze them; they'll last you a month, give or take. Best way though is fresh, and they only take not even a minute, and it's done. So we're going to let that finish up. We'll plate up, and I'll show you the finished results. Alright, here it is, guys, our tortellini soup, chicken tortellini soup. Our fresh homemade tortellinis. Absolutely delicious, guys. Got to try it. The recipe will be on the website, iChazmo.com. Stick around for more iCook.